Hey everyone, how are we doing today? So for today's lesson, what we're going to talk about is stairs. And in this particular lesson, we're going to talk about stair math. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to figure out the numbers that we need to use in order to apply them to a piece of 2x12 to create a stair stringer. So the first thing we need to do in building a set of stairs is a little bit of math to figure out the numbers that we're going to use. So the first thing I want you to understand is, what stairs are used for. Well, you think, well, I need them to go from my basement to my kitchen, or I need them to go, to my next class at my school, whatever. You might be at the ballpark and you want to go from level A to level B. Whatever that may be, the whole purpose of a set of stairs is to go from one elevation to another elevation. So we have a vertical distance here that we're trying to cover. And that vertical distance is referred to as our total rise. For this example, I'll write my math up here. So for this example, I'll say my total rise is 58 inches. So from this floor to this floor is 58 inches. Now across this bottom here, this horizontal run that we have, this is our total run. And that is the horizontal distance in which I have to work to overcome this vertical distance. And basically all we're doing, if I connect these two dots here, we're basically trying to create a triangle and we want to climb this slope. The problem is I don't have a vertical jump of 58 inches and I really don't know anybody that does. So I can't do that very easily and just go hop from one floor to the next. So I want to try to do this as safely and as comfortably as I can. So what I really want to do is take this big triangle and I want to break it down into little triangles. Little triangles I can handle. Little triangles are manageable. So that I can handle. So what we do, if you look at this little chart I have here, what we do is we take our vertical distance and we want to break it down into equal segments. And we want to take our horizontal distance and break it down into equal distances. And as you can see on this particular one, I drew lines that are at 90 degrees to each one. And if they actually connect, you can see how they form the smaller, more manageable triangles. And that's what we're trying to create so that we can go from one level to the next level comfortably and safely. So once we know our total rise and the distance we're trying to overcome, we're going to take that number, okay, and we're going to divide it. We're going to divide that number by 7.5. Why 7.5? Because long ago, some often different galaxy, or however you want to call it, somebody determined that for almost all people, the most comfortable step to go from this distance to place your foot here, then to here, and to here, the most comfortable distance is somewhere between 7 and 8 inches. So we're going to play the law of averages here, and we are going to use 7.5. So if I take my 58 and I divide that by 7.5, that equals 7.73. So 7.73, I will actually round up to 8. Because what that is telling me is that is telling me how many risers I need in this staircase. And I can't have 0.73 of a riser. It has to be a full riser. So I'm going to round that up to 8. Now I will come back to my total rise of 58 inches, and I will divide that by 8 risers. And that equals 7.25. Now this number here is actually a representation in inches. So this is my actual riser height. And what that is saying is each one of these risers is 7.25 inches. So I know my riser is 7 inches. But 0.25, if you get a decimal, you cannot physically measure that on your tape measure. You can't physically measure that decimal on your framing square. So we need to convert the decimal into a measurable amount. And to do that, we're going to take our decimal, 0.25. And I know the smallest amount that I can look at on my tape measure in inches is 1/16. So I am going to multiply that by 16 fractions in an inch. And that equals 4. So my riser is actually 7 4/16. So now I know this staircase